Alright guys, welcome back. Today let's talk about the price of Shiba Inu at the moment. We've got a lot of points to cover, so let's get right to it. Okay guys, the price of Shiba Inu has fallen dramatically over the past 24 hours by roughly 22 to about 25% at the moment. So I've identified about three main causes for this drop and what actions are being taken by both the community and the development team. Alright, welcome back to SHIB Planet everyone. This is Ace. Okay, earlier today, SHIB dropped out of the top 10 as a series of unaddressed news and issues they kept getting brought up by the media. Interestingly, in my previous video, I outlined some of the strengths and the weaknesses of Shiba Inu, and I mentioned that SHIB's biggest threat and its biggest weakness is actually FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And FUD, particularly when it's caused by careless journalism. So that will at least contribute to part of the problem for today's issues, from at least from my point of view. Anyway, speaking about FUD, the best way to dispel FUD, in my opinion, is through information. When you're not informed, you can get quite easily misled. So I'll try to bring some information to address at least one or two of some of these FUD points. Okay, firstly, if you've been following the Shiba Inu news lately, you'd know that there's an early SHIB investor who holds roughly about 70 trillion SHIB at the moment, purchased in about August, and they have not sold. At first, this holding, it made some people anxious when this news came out, and but recently they made about 4 transfers of about $10 trillion each, and they split the balance across about 5 wallets. Now, when these moves started being made, they obviously made people more anxious, and this triggered amongst the first wave of panic sells. So no one really knows who this wallet owner is, and even Shaitoshi, one of the lead developers, he doesn't know. But he calls them a super diamond-handed, person, because they clearly, feel that SHIB can go higher if they haven't sold, any SHIB at the moment. So my anti-FUD comment here would be that I highly doubt that this person is a current member of the development team, as some are claiming. I've been watching this token for a while, and I know that most of the development team, they joined in 2021. But this wallet in particular, it was they made their purchase in August of 2020. Now, and Shaitoshi himself, he joined as the developer in about February of this year, of 2021. I also acknowledge that there's a potential to sell. It exists, but personally, I have a long-term view for SHIB, and I see this, at the moment as a buying opportunity. Anyway, the other issue which came about is an untrue claim, and it just won't die. It's been resurfacing every now and then, and it's basically an article which states that 71% of the SHIB supply is actually held by 10 wallets. Now, if you know anything about Shiba Inu, then you'd know that this is definitely lazy journalism, at least from my point of view, because the initial journalists who published this, that series of article, they just took a look at the Etherscan holders, and they counted the top, handful of wallets, and then they made a false conclusion that 71% of SHIB is just held by 10 wallets. But if they took some time to do even a bit of light research, they would have found that the biggest wallet, the first wallet, is actually a burn wallet, where Vitalik Buterin, he burned 410 trillion SHIB, and that holds about 41%. And then I think the third largest wallet at the moment is the SHIB wallet. And SHIB, this is pretty much where all the staked SHIB go. So a combination of these two, that's about 45% already. And both of these wallets are actually out of circulation, which means they're not available for trade. Anyway, the next wallets, in the top 25, maybe even the top 40, are predominantly from centralized exchanges. And I've done a previous analysis before, and centralized exchanges, they make up between 20 and 25% of all SHIB holdings, as they should, because that's where most people buy their SHIB from. Anyway, unfortunately, this false claim is being passed around, even by big news networks, and this is causing additional panic selling, because people believe that a lot of wallets hold a few wallets hold a bunch of SHIB, which is certainly not true. Anyway, I think we'll just move on to the next issue, the next FUD issue, which most people actually want to get answers for. This is the circulating supply issue. Recently, CoinMarketCap, they updated their circulating supply figures for the Shiba Inu token. It was roughly 394 trillion SHIB tokens from about May of 20 of this year, and recently, after SHIB entered the top 10, they updated those figures to about 549 trillion, which is a gain of about of over 150 trillion. Anyway, as an adjustment, as a result of this, people thought that the developers had added more tokens into circulation, and this is definitely not true because Satoshi has repeatedly stated that it's not possible to add tokens to a deflationary token. Also, the blockchain, it doesn't show any that any tokens have been added. You can actually look for yourself if you go to Etherscan and download some of the data, particularly for the day when this happened. Anyway, um, I personally think what happened is that CoinMarketCap, they initially got the figure wrong, that 394 trillion, and the rest of crypto, they just went along with that number. And I don't think they made an effort to do a proper count in the first place. That's why SHIB had a seemingly perfectly rounded circulating supply figure. You know, that 394 trillion, the uh, which doesn't really make sense because there's burns which happen every day, but CoinMarketCap never updated it. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, CoinMarketCap is actually intertwined in pretty much everything. Even the blockchain itself, Etherscan, it references CoinMarketCap. So what I just did is I went to the Wayback Machine and I just put in the SHIB token address for around the 22nd of May, and you can see that this is Etherscan. If you scroll down here, this is the details of Shiba Inu. So here's the circulating supply, which was acknowledged in, at least according to Etherscan, in in the month of May, and this is their source. So the blockchain itself, Etherscan, which is where all ERC20 tokens get their data, it comes from CoinMarketCap. I don't know if you can see that here, and this is how intertwined CoinMarketCap, you know, is in all this stuff. Anyway, the issue is that everyone believed that CoinMarketCap data was correct because, after all, they claim to verify all the data before they put their blue tick of approval. Anyway, the developers, they just released an official statement on the matter. I'll release a separate video regarding that, and in that Medium article which has just been released, they pretty much say that it's definitely a CoinMarketCap issue because that's the main source which most exchanges and even Etherscan it relies on, and they've called for a public response. And now I guess we'll just wait for a response from them. Anyway, those are the three new news pieces which have contributed to the drop. And we also can't rule out market manipulation because if you've been noticing, the SHIB holdings has gone up amongst the top 1000 ERC20 token holders. It was, I think, a few days ago, it had dropped down to about 10%, and now suddenly during this dip, its SHIB is being held by Ethereum whales in high volumes once again. So if the whales are buying the dip, then it shows that they definitely do have confidence in the token. So anyway, I think we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Ace. Peace.